Уф, Так, наче все нормально. Наче все ок, ок. Трохи аудіо, мабуть, підкрутити треба. Так, що тут за русський? Голос русський. Чому, блін, не додати тоді ж українською ще й русська озвучка? Draw object markers, quest notification enabled, hints enabled, subtitles, yes. Video. Borderless. Motion blur, ні. Ненавиджу motion blur. Epic, 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 epic. Аудіо. Трішечки тихіше зробити. Control Z. Може, по ходу розберемося. Я не знаю, взагалі, вона більш під кімпад, більше під контролер. Навіть зброя є. Ну от я б все ж таки грав би на контролері. На клавіатурі. Раз тут треба по сторонах дивитися. Message from the developer. This game was developed by a core team of 3 people over 4 years. You support us. It's a mystery adventure with multiple endings. It rewards through thoughtful conversation, exploration, not brute force. The fate of the city is in your hands. Нічого собі. Ой, що таке фест
You're
присідає?
alive! When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, a phone, maybe. I hope you don't mind. But all I found was some loose change. So, wanna tell me who you are?
Ого, select your body type. Взагалі давно в адвенчури не грав. Два бодітайпи, тобто. Ну, по суті, чоловік або жінка. Так розумію. Тобі було пояснення де є? Не може цікавіше жіночкою буде грати? Давайте жіночкою. Давайте світленькою. Давайте назвемо її. Перше, що в голову прийде. Комусь Кларіса.
Well, it's nice to meet you. And I'm sorry to pry, but any idea why you were floating down the river? What's the last thing you remember?
Оце у нее очі, конечно. I was searching for ancient ruins. Archaeologist. Your society and history give you occasional insights into the ancient world. Soldier. I was in a covert mission. You have a military issued firearm, but only 10 bullets. You have to use them judiciously, then there is no way to get more. I was on the run from the law. Fugitive. Your time on the run from authorities has made you quick on your feet and you're 25% faster when sprinting. I barely remember anything. Amnesiac. Your recent head trauma has increased your pain threshold, making you 50% harder to take down. Блін, може археологістам пограти. Я не знаю, поки не зрозуміло, чим вони прямо драматично відрізняються. Як це буде прямо на гру впливати. Немає жодного уявлення, тому археолог.
Oh, you're an archaeologist? Then you'll definitely want to hear this. I don't know if it's exactly what you're looking for, but there are some ruins just behind you. Roman, I think. I need you to go in there and see if you can find a guy named Al for me. He went in there a few hours ago, and he hasn't come out. I've been freaking out, wondering if he's trapped or injured or worse. I would have gone in after him,
Мусу мені не
but he
подивитися.
made me promise to stay here, no matter what. There's no way I'm leaving without him, so I'm just kind of stuck here, waiting. What I mean is, I was hoping you wouldn't mind going in there to find him. If you can do that, I can get both of you back to civilization in my boat. Please?
Mind if I ask some questions first?
Oh,
Так, треба задати
of
питання.
course. Sorry, I don't mean to be pushy. I just... What do you want to know?
Who is Al?
He's the guy who washed up on the riverbank not long before you did. I thought maybe you two knew each other. I guess not. But maybe the two of you can piece together what you're doing here. In any case, you'll
Щас
like him, I'm sure.
Річкою вимивають
Once you
сюди.
find him, that is.
What's your story?
There's not much to tell. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Know what I mean?
You're not even going to tell me your name.
I'd rather not say if it's all the same to you.
I would really like to know, especially if I'm going to be helping you. Why don't you want to tell me? Never mind, I don't care that much.
All right, fine. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
Karen. Well, thank you for saving my life, Karen. Why didn't you want to tell me your name? All those Karen memes have really ruined that name, huh? А я не знаю жодного мема про Karen.
Look, if you really want to know all the tragic details, perhaps I can fill you in after you find Al? You
Where are
really
we?
don't remember? We're in Italy. This river is the Tiber.
В Італії ми, окей. What can you tell me about the ruins?
Not much, really. But imagine what you might find in there. Priceless ancient artifacts. Al...
У неї дуже кріпотні очі. Have you tried calling
What
for
am
help?
I, an idiot? You could hike a long, long way in any direction and never find another soul. Trust me.
Щось мені здається, що в Італії не так багато місць, де жодної душі. That's all the questions I had.
Great. So you're ready to go look for Al?
Alright, I
Thank
mean.
you. The entrance is just
I'm
past
sure
those
with
columns
Maulis.
behind you. Please, hurry. Oh, and he left this here. But I think you'll need it more than I will.
Ага, фонарик. Ліхтарик. Квіт про кво. Enter the ruins. Блін, ну чого так FPS просідає? Реально, 200 FPS. 160 навіть. І інколи він просто просідає зараз. Це при тому, що у мене майже топова відеокарта на даний момент. І цій грі вже півроку, рік. Можна було і пропачити. Спайрон, ну лізь на мене на стіл. Ну кому ти лізеш на мене на стіл? Ти. Жабасіна. Так, і що у нас тут? Enter the ruins. Навіть 200 FPS в деяких місцях. Потім просідає до 60-70. Ладно. Inspect. A rusted metal torch, which must have been lit by Al. I'm going the right way. Окей. Ми... No. Hold shift to sprint. Не знав, що Італія прям так виглядає. Тож я не дуже собі уявляю Італію чисто природньо. Буде десь як Греція, щось таке.
If you're reading this, it means I've discovered the entrance to an ancient Roman city hidden deep underground. Its existence is long forgotten. All knowledge of it lost, except in the Latin inscription here. It reads, "You who wish to enter the city, step forth and be judged. The virtuous shall be rewarded with eternal life in paradise. The wicked shall find themselves showered in gold, but in vain, for this shall be their final resting place." Could an underground city have remained a secret for all this time? Do people have survived down there, against the odds? It seems there's only one way to find out. If I'm not back in an hour, I'm somewhere on the other side. Consider this an invitation. Or a warning. Alworth.
Чувак прям заморочився записку написати. Та йомає, що це за просадки в квестики? О. Щось коли тригериться якийсь івент, чи виповнює, воно трохи підвисає чомусь. Типу. Ну от ми знайшли вхід. 230 FPS. It's me, Mario. Так. Дуже дивні звуки, наче хтось точить лезо. А, ліхтарик є. І не Pools of Lamentation. Так, будь-яку можна, тільки цю леді. А цю навіть не можна подивитися чомусь. Мозаїка прикольна. An ancient Roman mosaic depicting a godlike figure turning the man into gold. Це Мідас. A Roman gladiator meets stride. What could have made a gladiator flee? Oh. 300 FPS навіть в деяких місцях, тому що закритий простір, але от тут підтормознуло трохи. Вони типу намагалися якось безшовний світ цей зробити, але у них, мабуть, важко їм було в трьох. A young Roman woman, it looks like she was begging for her life. Щось багато кріпотних статуй. Наче вони звідкись тікали. F5 to quick save. F9 to quick load. Окей. Пробуємо запам'ятати. A Roman military commander attempting to scramble away from something. A Roman legionary in a state of terror. Ми до чогось наближаємо. Ого. Ого. Не можу впасти тут, наприклад. Мені не дадуть туди. Впасти не дають. Roman woman who appears to be praying for help that never came. Блін, майже хоррор якийсь. Ancient horror. Oh. Follow the trail. Hanging golden statue. Golden statue of an old man wearing modern clothing. This must be hell, but how is it possible? Що тут у нас? Stone tablet.
To whoever reads this, I'm sorry you had to find me like this. And worse, you'll suffer the same fate I did. I spent a lifetime in this place, going around and around in circles, searching for a way out. The inscription was right. There is no way back. And here there are only two options: death, and that godforsaken doorway into the past. I made the mistake of stepping through it. I wanted to set things right. And I tried. I really tried. Whatever I did, it took me right back to the beginning. Don't make the same mistake. Better to end it all now.
Ой, я підпалив собі
Find out
дупу.
what awaits you beyond that portal.
Тут у мене є ХП. Beyond the portal. Young Roman woman in a state of panic. Це дивні звуки, наче хтось щось кує. Хтось точе. A Roman man on his knees, as if begging his gods for mercy. No much further. Звучить страшно, до речі, там. Ой. А, їх можна штовхнути, навіть якийсь фізон є. А чи міг я якось туди потрапити? Там от щось внизу є. О, до речі, правою кнопкою мишки можна приблизити. Ну ладно, нас прям запрошують цим not much further. Якийсь портал. Якийсь портал. Якийсь вормхол. Періодично гра мені нагадує юзати фонарик, ліхтарик. Forget me not. Step this through to the past. A Roman relief depicting a great circular portal and two men. I wonder who they could be. Figure out how to return to your original time. Блін, що таке FPS просідає, єпта? Єпта. Оу, це вже справжні люди, типу.
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina?
Proserpina? Це Персефона? I'm Clarissa, and I've just come from the future. Так він мені повірив. Wait, are you speaking English? Shrine of Proserpina? I'm Clarissa and I got lost, lie. Я типу, kind of got lost? Wait, are you speaking English? What?
I'm speaking Latin. You are too, although your accent's a little strange. Oh, I see what you did there. Changing the subject like that. Nice try. But I'll ask again. Who are you? And what were you doing in the shrine? Yeah, you know, agricultural goddess of springtime?
Персефона.
You're not from around here, are you? And you've just done it again. You're a sly one, aren't you? One more time. Who are you and what were you doing in that shrine?
I'm Clarissa and I just come from the future.
No idea what you're talking about. Oh, wait. Are you a bit, you know, not right in the head? That's all right, friend. Everyone's welcome here.
Obviously, what's the
We
date?
sort of lose track of the date down here, but it feels like the beginning of spring to me, so I'd say early March?
What
It's
year?
817 AUC. Sorry, you look confused. 817 years since the founding of Rome. Which part of the empire are you from exactly?
Блін, а я не пам'ятаю, до речі, ці позначки англійською мовою там до нашої ери, після нашої ери. От. В упор не пам'ятаю. Здається, що Сі і ера Common Era. Так, ще заплутаніше, що визначає Common Era. Ага, BC it's before the Common Era, і C Common Era. А, ну, в принципі, C це наша ера. Да. Ага. Alternatives to the end of the mini AD and before Christ, BC. Це навіть ближче, мабуть, до нашого російського чи української нашої ери до нашої ери. Тому це 65-й рік нашої ери. That doesn't help me, is this before or after Christ? Але вони не знають навіть, хто такий Христос. Але в мене є археологічний інсайт.
CE? No idea what you're talking about. But listen, most folks seem a bit confused when they get here, but you seem very lost, and in more ways than one. So let me make this nice and simple for you. Live by our law here, and we'll all get along just fine.
Your laws.
Not laws, law. There's just one, the golden rule, and the punishment for breaking it's, well, it's kind of horrific. But our magistrate insists we take all newcomers to see him, so I guess I'll let him fill you in. So then, you coming?
Okay.
When I first arrived, I couldn't believe there were people living down here. But, as you can see, we've got a nice little community now.
Ага, тут взагалі до 80 FPS пало чомусь. Він сказати, що вона прям важка
Only
графічно.
23 of us at the moment, if you count the 3 who are missing. No idea how, since nobody knows a way out. But it's just big and dark enough to get lost in, if you're not careful.
Aren't you going to introduce me to your pretty new friend, Galerius?
Keep it in your loincloth, Aurelia. I'm taking her to see the magistrate.
That pompous old bore won't be magistrate for much longer. Anyone who helps vote him out today drinks at my bar for free tonight.
Really looks busy, I should try talking to her again later. Ладно, пішли далі.
Politics. I'd stay clear of it and her, if I were you. She's... it's not my place to say. Down on your right is our farm, where I grow all the food you'll ever want. As long as all you want is leek, cabbage and wheat.
Тут статуя дивна.
That one usually gets a chuckle.
Stranger looks busy.
The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone.
Don't mind Livia. She means well. She's just been in a bad place since... Well, you know, I don't know what happened to her.
Don't steal anything, don't hurt anyone, don't. Whoever wrote this didn't get a chance to finish, evidently.
Up here on your right is the chasm. If you've got a weapon, it belongs way down at the bottom. Up on your left is the
воно
forum,
произноситься
where you can visit the
chasm.
market or get
Я вже
yourself
думав
back to
chasm.
Lucretia's clinic in the shrine of a...
Я думав, вони більше не дозволяють таке робити. Йобушки, це ж було дуже давно. Чи ні? Блін. Ладно, все одно піду таким тим же шляхом, на всяк випадок.
You know, it's a... See, but you live... Not... It, look, you seem like... Follow me. When I
Зато ми
first
дізналися,
arrived, I
що...
couldn't believe there were people living down here. But, as you can see, we've got a nice little community now.
Лоу, тут автофолл є.
Only 23 of us at the moment.
У нас немає
if you
ніг.
count the 3 who are missing. No idea how, since nobody knows a way out. But it's just...
Чому я не бачу нормально чату? Що за срань? Він наче схований в цьому. Не скролиться чомусь нормально. м. О. Ну, персона
Even
ще не
dark
починав
enough to get
грати.
lost in
Трохи
if you're not
пізніше. Це
careful.
довго. Це гра наша
Aren't you going to
коротша.
introduce me to your
Кірбі, ти
pretty
що,
new
пукнув?
friend, Galerius?
Keep it in your loincloth, Aurelia. I'm taking her to see the magistrate.
That pompous old bore won't be magistrate for much longer. Anyone who helps vote him out today drinks
О,
at my
навіть
bar
озвучено,
for
що як
free
ми стрибаємо.
tonight.
Politics. I'd stay clear of it and her if I were you. She's...
Блін, Кірбі заліз мені на комп'ютер.
place to say.
Під столом і там пукає.
Down on your right is our farm, where I grow all the food you'll ever want. As long as all you want is leek, cabbage, and wheat. Huh. That one usually gets a chuckle.
The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone.
Кажуть, що ця гра дуже прикольний
Don't worry,
сюжет, ну.
Olivia. She means well. She's just been in a
Але її
bad
зробили
place
3
since...
людини.
Well, you know, I don't know what happened to her. Up here on your right is the chasm.
Так, головне другий раз не впасти.
Way down at the bottom. Up on your left is the forum, where you can visit the market or get yourself patched up in Lucretia's clinic in the Shrine of Apollo. Most of us have almost nothing, just what we had on us when we arrived.
Я тільки все одно не
What we've been able to
запам'ятаю.
make and scrounge up since. And this central plateau is where the magistrate and the other patricians live, so don't expect a warm welcome.
Hilarious. We're meant to be working the farm, not trudging dirt into the villas.
Take it easy, Horatius. I was just taking our new friend here to see the magistrate.
Well, he's asked me to escort the newcomer personally. The farm. Go.
Oh.
Now.
You better go with him. But just remember, they're not like you and me. Don't let them use you.
What was that? What did you just say?
I said it'll take some getting used to.
Yeah, I'm watching you, farm boy.
Фармбой.
Greetings, citizen. My name's Horatius. Magistrate Sentius asked me to escort you to him personally. Follow me, please.
What's this
I
about?
expect the magistrate wants to brief you about the Golden Rule. It shouldn't take too long. He's busy preparing for the election later today.
Alright,
Follow
lead
me.
the way.
The only thing you really need to understand right now is the Golden Rule. Let me see if I can explain it this way. When I was serving in the Legion, if there was a mutiny brewing in one cohort, the legate in charge wouldn't waste time finding the bad apples among hundreds. They just divided us into groups of 10. Made us draw straws.
Локація прикольна
Whoever
з
drew the
дизайні.
short straw had to be
Дуже так
executed by the other 9.
historically
Oh,
Don't mind
accurate.
me. I just live here.
One of us in 10 would die for the crimes of the collective. We call it decimation. If that seems like rough justice to you, you're in for a rude shock. Because the Golden Rule is exactly 10
Ugh,
times
this
worse.
place has
The
become a
magistrate can explain
thoroughfare.
the rest. Who's up these stairs?
Окей. Ух ти. Що можна вкрасти? За це щось буде? A small household shrine where ancient Romans offered daily prayers for protection. Lararium. Прикольно, я не знав, до речі, про ці штуки. Note from Scintilla. Scintilla expresses gratitude to Sentius for adopting her. Scintilla to Sentius, may Jupiter Optimus Maximus continue to protect and guide you. Thank you for making me your daughter and for the lovely birthday pendant. I promise we'll wear it always. I feel so safe and fortunate to have you as my father and Sentia, my sister, since you have been feeling apprehensive about the election next month, but if you can just show them that the strong and dependable man I know you to be, you will be re-elected, I'm sure of it. Тут ще може бути різні сторіночки. Так. Прикольно. И возлежишь тут на ложе П'єш вінішко, дивишся на садочок коло хати. Вроді дуже прикольно. Magistrate Saintius.
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name?
I'm Clarissa.
A curious name to match a curious accent. But I digress. I see you have the piercing and astute eyes of Athena. You must be a woman of great learning. We're always happy to welcome another scholar to our little community.
Цікаво, з ким би він мене порівняв, бо якщо б я почав грати чоловіком.
Now, you're probably wondering why I summoned you, and I'll get to that. But first, take a look at this wondrous place, would you? A secret city built deep in the mountains, many hundreds of years ago.
I will play along. It's beautiful.
More importantly, consider the miraculous community we've built here over the last 7 months. 22 complete strangers brought together by the fates, living and working together in our own little paradise. And in all that time, not a single sin has been committed. No fights, no theft, nothing. Have you ever witnessed something so extraordinary as a city without sin?
Can't say I
Nor
have.
could I until I came here. But the reason for this miracle is as simple as it is terrifying.
Я не можу зрозуміти, ці люди всі з майбутнього сюди якось потрапили, чи це реально...
Every last one of us will die. You see, the builders of this place, whoever they were, left inscriptions warning, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." From what we can gather, breaking the law here will anger the gods and provoke a terrible punishment. Like the curses of Medusa and Midas combined, turning us all to gold. We've come to call it the
Golden Rule. Ось чому тут так багато
It's
статуй.
extraordinary that we've survived as long as we have, and each day I grow more and more afraid that our time in the sun is almost up. And now it
Залишилось
seems
тільки
that day
дізнатися,
is
що вони
finally here.
вважають
All that
гріхом.
matters is that somebody in this city is about to break the golden rule. Why else would Proserpina send you now? Unless you and I can stop them, our doom is assured. I know that's a lot to take in, and you look like you have questions. Please, ask away.
What counts as a sin here? Перше ж
An
питання.
intelligent question. There was a good deal of debate about that in our first weeks here. Does it refer to crimes or to some other ill-defined wrong? Of course, everyone agrees on the basics. No theft, no assault, and certainly no murder. But beyond that, it was more difficult to reach a consensus. What about lying, insulting someone, blasphemy, trespass, trying to escape, bribery, infidelity, suicide? As magistrate, I had to exercise leadership, and so I made a decision. We must uphold the laws of the Empire to a standard never before seen. And we must honor the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome. It is only by offering the gods the proper respect that we may prosper, as Rome has for centuries.
Він так і не пояснив, що не можна робити. Makes sense to me. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. What is legal isn't always moral. And many of your laws and customs are considered barbaric where I'm from.
Barbaric? Barbaric? What are you talking about? The Empire is the most civilizing force in the known world. Rome is a beacon of light in the darkness. For 800 years she has borne great statesmen, philosophers, poets, artists and engineers. We have comprehensive laws protecting the rights of our citizens, which have unified countless warring tribes all across the Mediterranean and beyond, from Gallia to Judea. All our citizens are treated the same, regardless of the color of their skin or their sexual preference. Can you say the same? When our people are starving, they are given food rations, and when they are wronged, they have the right to bring the guilty party before the magistrate.
Я не
Our
впевнений,
laws
що воно
forbid
прям так
treason,
працювало.
murder, assault, rape, as well as theft and arson, and so on. No other civilization in the world is so advanced, and you have the hubris to call us barbaric?
Don't you allow slave
Of
ownership?
course. What else would we do with those prisoners of war who would otherwise have been executed? And besides, there are laws for their protection as well.
Don't your people watch blood
On
sports?
occasion. But our gladiators are almost all volunteers seeking glory, or condemned prisoners who would have been executed anyway. I do not see the harm.
No, they один одного вбивають. Don't women have fewer rights than men?
Of course, but with fewer rights come fewer responsibilities, and the right to be protected by their fathers and husbands.
Don't you persecute
You mean
Christians?
the blasphemous cult responsible for burning down half of Rome last year? It's hard to blame the people for being angry about that.
Don't you practice
Are you
collective
talking
punishment?
about our practice of decimation? Of course. We could hardly unite all these warring tribes without a disciplined, formidable legion.
When I am from, we consider these things to be apparent.
Right now, you're a long, long way from home. I have made my pronouncement on the subject. Unfortunately, there are still those here who resist, whispering blasphemous and treasonous lies in the shadows. I would be keeping a close eye on them if I were you.
What did you mean when you said Proserpina sent me?
You see, in my search for a way to save my people, I learned of an ancient ritual to Proserpina, the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. It's said to open a doorway in time, so that if the unthinkable happens, one person can pass through it and travel back to the past. And when I saw you arrive in a flash of light from the goddess's shrine, I knew that person was you. You don't belong in our time, do you?
Oh, yeah, I do. You're right, I'm from 2000 years in the future. Цікаво, що я прийшов, всі помруть?
2,000 years? That is...
Потім якось перевірю, збережусь перед цим.
Please, tell me, in your time, what did you see? What had become of us? Of this city?
You all been turned to golden statues.
I have imagined it, our downfall, 1,000 times. But it still breaks my heart to hear the truth of it.
How does the
All I can
ritual
tell you
work?
is that it's a
Ritual.
sacrifice to Proserpina. I stumbled across instructions. I have to recite a prayer, and of course, as with all rituals, some sacrifice is involved. Usually that means wine or food, or in some cases a live animal. In this case, the sacrifice is rather more costly. The life of the person performing the ritual. I don't suppose you saw any sign of me in the future?
Kirby. Did see human remains in the temple?
I assume that was me. If I'm forced to perform the ritual, it's going to cost me everything. You'll try to make sure I don't need to use it, won't you?
I'll do my
Well,
best.
I suppose that's all I can ask for.
Why can't you
Well, I
investigate?
believe you're in the best position to go around asking people questions. You're new here, and it'll seem perfectly normal. As for me, well, it pains me to say my attempts to impose order have not earned me many friends. I fear I may not even remain magistrate after today's election. The people here would only treat my curiosity with suspicion. You shouldn't have that problem, though, unless, of course, you get off on the wrong foot.
Кирін. Фу, Кірбі, ну ти знову пукнув. Навіщо ти пукаєш мені тут? Навіщо ти мені пукаєш тут? Do you have any suspects?
Do you ever stare at a problem for so long that you can't see it for what it is anymore? What's needed here is a
All
fresh
the
pair
time.
of eyes. The less I prejudice the independence of your investigation, the better.
How do I know you're not the person responsible?
Why would you suspect me? I've just told you. I'm about to sacrifice my own life to ensure these people have a second chance. What reason could you possibly have to suspect me, of all people?
Fair
I'm glad
point.
you think so. Without trust, without each other, we won't be able to prevent what is about to happen.
Fair enough. If I do this, will you help me get back to my own time?
If I understand Prosepina's ritual correctly, that problem should take care of itself. Let me see if I can explain. If you manage to prevent the sin that breaks the Golden Rule, I won't need to bring you here. I won't create the portal, and you will never have been able to come here. Thus, you'll have created a paradox. If this occurs, you should be flung back to your own time, having changed the past for all of us. Make sense?
Нифига не make sense, ну ладно. I think so. That's all question I had.
So, are you with me? Can I count on you to figure out who's about to break the Golden Rule?
Alright, I mean...
Now, I need you to investigate the city, talk to everyone, help them if it'll win their trust. I authorize you to enter private homes and inspect possessions and documents, unless, of course, you're asked to leave. Figure out who the culprit is, and as soon as you have a name, come back and tell me immediately. Oh, and
Alright.
one last thing. If I were you, I'd start my investigation by visiting Lucretia at the Shrine of Apollo in the Forum. I heard wailing
Lucretia.
from there not long ago. Seems like something's not right.
I'll get right on it. Так, Кірбі, трохи посунься. Да, обнімашки. Обнімашки. Але мені треба грати. Ага, ось journal. Quest tracking tip. To see the objective markers for a given quest, click the icon beside it. Okay, leads, main goals. Point of origin, the golden rule. Інвентар. Ага, у мене ще інвентар буде Динаріус. Аж один у мене. Ліхтарик. Цікаво, не охуєть, якщо я достану тут. Ладно. У них не виникає питань, чому тут стільки статуї золотих?
Are they? Ah, you've returned. Do you... Thank you.
Ладно.
I'll...
В принципі, це ті ж самі питання по колу. Приблизно.
What now?
What they're
Not
going
that
to...
it's any of your business. But my loyalty is and always will be with Sentius. Unfortunately, I don't think my vote is going to make any difference today. See, Domitius has been going around town, shoring up votes for Malleolus with lies, bribery, and intimidation. The man's a savage. But he's a gladiator, so people fear and respect him more than they should. Sentius knows about it, of course, but he doesn't have the same rat cunning as Malleolus. This place will be different with that sleaze at the helm. But I try
Хіба
not to
це
worry
вже
about
не
things I
гріх
can't
там
change.
брайберінг? Чи просто тому, що ніхто не знає, то намагається нічого не робити. Can I help?
I appreciate the thought, but you're new here, and I just can't see how you could make an impact in the time between now and the election this afternoon. In any case, if you're interested in the election, go and have a chat with Equitia, the Vestal Priestess. She'll be overseeing proceedings.
But tell me
He's one of
about
the
the
better commanders
magistrate.
I've ever had, that's for sure. Good stoic, lives by Seneca's words. Treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you. Can't ask for much more than that.
Окей,
Alright.
ладно. О,
Hey Horatius, how's it feel knowing your man's doomed to lose the election today?
If you're trying to goad me into an argument, it won't work. I'm a stoic, remember?
If the old man couldn't even keep his own daughter
я,
safe,
до речі, не знаю,
how
Помпій
can
там
anyone
якесь
trust him to
місто
keep us
є
safe, eh?
сучасне
Why do I
поряд
get
з
the
ним,
feeling
чи
you lot
взагалі
have
немає
something
там
to do
нічого,
with
тільки
Sentilla's disappearance?
That's
пополом
it.
присипано
Blame everyone but
руїни.
yourself.
If I find out you did something to that poor sweet girl, not even the golden rule is gonna protect you. Got it?
As if I'll be afraid of you, little man.
Хто це такий?
What were you two talking about?
Sorry, what?
Don't play dumb. I saw you. Having a shady little chat with old man Sentius up on his balcony. If he's making a last-ditch effort to pick up votes by talking to a woman, he's even more senile than I thought. Everyone knows women can't vote.
Thanks for the warm welcome, I'll be going now. Чи можна було щось сказати, мабуть? Чи можна?
Couldn't stay away, huh, lovely? I think it's gone on long enough, and Malleolus is going to put an end to it once he's elected.
How's he going to do
He's
that?
going to announce it in his victory speech. Just you wait and see. Cause if I tell you, and it gets out, it'll give old man Sentius a chance to interfere in our plans. And we can't have that. Old man Sentius got you already, did he?
Я не
I'm not
розумію,
talking
чому
to
він
people
з
of his faction.
британським акцентом розмовляє.
Confortuare.
Ладно. Не дуже привітний чувак. Sentius and Malleolus, some excrement, different smell. Same excrement, different smell.
Hey, you're not thinking about going into the cistern, are you?
Що за cistern? Yes, why?
Nobody's told you about Hannibal? Ugh, why do I have to do everything round here? So, there was this guy called Hannibal, right? Funny accent. Used to go down into the cisterns looking for junk he could clean up and sell. One day, a few weeks back, he comes out and tells me the cisterns are haunted. Said he could hear spirits wailing. Of course, nobody believed him, because who trusts a Carthaginian, right? Anyway, a few days later, he goes back in. And hours go by, and he hasn't come back out, yeah? So I go down after him, and it's dark. But in the distance, I can just make out his body, sprawled out on the ground, and hunched over him was something that made my blood run cold. No word of a lie. I saw a creature. Like the corpse of a man who'd been flayed. And it was eating Hannibal.
Wouldn't it have broken the
If it
golden
was a
rule?
man, maybe. But I swear on my life this was no man. More like a Strix. Or some Versipelus that feeds on human flesh. I didn't stick around to see which.
And what
Well,
did
any
you do?
sane person would have done. I legged it out of there and put a sign at the door to warn the others.
It was a great story, but I'm still going down there.
Without a weapon? Well, it's your funeral.
Ну ладно. Ще треба зберегтися ще тут. Так, прям от можу в будь-який будинок зайти і робити, що хочу. Ceramic ink jar. The ink appears to be made from soot and water. І можу навіть покрутити. А, красти, мабуть, не можна. Чи мені щось буде за це, не буде, не зрозуміло. Кірбі, не пукай. Якісь записки. Статуї. Тут будинки не підписані взагалі, як зрозуміти, що тут. No doubt on pleasant cooking with such poor ventilation, but Romans probably regard it as their servant's problem. Tap X for guide toward your bishop marker. Що? Нажав. А, ну то воно типу веде мене на квест, якщо я вдруг заблукаю. Ну, я хочу подивитися, що тут є. Sculpture of Minerva, the Roman goddess of strategy. Окей. Ладно, на другому поверсі нічого. Що тут? Просто пустий будинок. Можна знову розбитися, ні, дякую. Ну ладно. Думаю, це щось корисне буде.
Keep an
Isn't
eye
the
out for
great
Sentinel,
temple
would you?
majestic?
Що? І хто?
A new face. Ave, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit? It must be completed by dusk, just the same as any other official business.
Чому
It'll
у
be
всіх
between
однакові питання?
Sentius, the incumbent, and Malleolus, the challenger. Why do you ask?
Who's allowed to
All of
vote?
the male citizens who are willing and able to attend, unless they're running, of course.
Цікаво, тепер не можу голосувати, тому що обрав жіночку спочатку.
That's just the way it's always been, I'm afraid. It never sat right with me, either. There are some women who can vote, Vestal priestesses like myself, but in this case, given my role overseeing the election, I've decided to abstain. I can't allow the perception that I'm being anything but fair and independent, but if it's any consolation, there are other ways to influence the outcome of an election.
Such
By
as?
using whatever gifts the gods gave you. Nothing untoward, of course.
What's your role in
I'm
the election?
responsible for announcing it and making sure the procedures are followed.
Can I nominate
You can,
another candidate?
assuming they're eligible and willing to accept the nomination.
Can I
As I
start the
said,
election now?
I'm planning to hold it before dusk, but I suppose I could hold it sooner, if there's a good reason.
Я не
As you
буду
wish.
поки що робити цього. Не знаю, що до цього це приведе. What's your story?
Oh my. I take it people are quite direct where you're from. I suppose it's quite charming in its own way. Usually, however, you wouldn't simply march up to a Vestal priestess and without due formality or courtesy ask, "What is your story?"
Sorry, what should I have done?
The proper approach would be to arrange an introduction through a mutual acquaintance in high office, by which time you would already know how to address me. And then you would find a way to satisfy your curiosity rather more indirectly. But to be honest, I've often thought what an unnecessarily formal way to communicate that is. So, let's do it your way. You just keep being yourself and ask whatever you like. It'll be a refreshing change.
Ну ти Кірбі добре придумав. Я тебе що, на руках маю отак от прям тримати? Я не можу тебе тримати на руках. Доведеться тобі просто лежати у мене на колінцях. How did you end up here?
I'm not entirely sure. But what about you? How did you end up here?
Угу. Питанням на питання. A young woman named Karen dragged me out of a river unconscious and sent me in here.
Karen, you say? And nothing about that name seemed odd to you.
It's an older name, but not uncommon where I'm from. Carries negative connotation where I'm from. I think I see where this is going. Я не знаю, типу, що за ім'я Карен. Окей. Older.
I see. I wonder if... No.
What were you going to say?
I apologize. I don't mean to be cryptic. It's just that you've got me thinking.
Що не так з ім'ям Карен?
Have you spoken with any of the others about how they arrived here too? I really think you should. Go around and ask them what they remember and see if you notice any patterns.
Alright, I
Good.
did it.
Thank you. But please be careful. I just don't want to see what happened to Livia happen to you too.
What happened
Up
to Livia?
until a few weeks ago, she was a perfectly productive member of our little community, darning clothes and cutting hair. She was always so chatty, always seeking out newcomers and asking them where they were from and how they wound up here. And then, about a month ago, she suddenly changed. She withdrew, stopped working and became despondent, started muttering to herself. Galerius and I visited her to see how we could help, but she just looked at us with this haunted stare, called us bloodless shadows, and told us we were ignorant of some pattern. Look, it could be unrelated. Perhaps she simply fell ill. Or, as Galerius suggested, the weight of the Golden Rule was too much for her. But there is a small chance that she learned something, saw a pattern nobody else saw, and that it broke her. I just don't want to see that happen to you. So be careful, will you?
Okay, I will.
Now, go and follow the thread of truth through this labyrinth and come back to me if you discover any patterns.
І поки що пріоритизувати я не буду. Так, ну не думаю, що мені хтось розповість, як звідси спетлять. Чому вони зі мною розмовляють? Ти хто?
Name's Rufius. Better watch your step. Meliodas. Not sure I trust Sentius. Couldn't even protect his daughter in a city without sin. How's he going to protect us? No.
Окей.
Can't talk long. Got to stay sharp, but family's from Seleucia on Tigris, Babylon province. But I've been roaming a long time now. Even joined the legions. The 6th. The one they call Ironclads.
How did you end
Same
up
as
here?
everyone else.
Why are you still wearing your
Because
original
we're
armor?
all in grave danger. Is it not obvious?
I don't have a weapon.
Magistrate made me toss it in the chasm. Stupid. Going to have to improvise now.
Not much of a talker, are you?
If you were dealing with what I am, you wouldn't be either.
What are you dealing
None of
with?
your business. In Troite ipsum commensula.
Comment tool,
If we
okay.
have to. If I did, do you think we'd be having this conversation?
What do you think about the golden rule?
I'll tell you this much. I hate the fact that my survival depends on the common sense of other people.
Да, таке. I know the feeling I lived through the pandemic.
Then you
The
know what I'm
Procreate?
talking about. I mean, all these people just bumble along like
Ну, гра
nothing's
якраз
wrong.
десь ковід вийшла в минулому
Well,
році.
we're one bad decision away from being wiped out. Like the last lot of people who lived here. Seems like I'm the only one ready for what's coming. Whatever that is. And when it hits, it's everyone for themselves. You've been warned. I don't know. But did you ever get the feeling some of these statues are watching us when we're not looking? Like
Вони
they're
розмовляють зі мною.
waiting for something. I don't like it.
I think
Of course
you're
I
right.
am. Whatever.
Whatever. Так, ну тут я був. Йдемо розмовляти з цією проблемною жіночкою. Ого, велике місто. Ти хто? Якийсь трупак? Collection of barbaric looking medical implements, including forceps and shears. Що тут ще є? Ще medical tools. Mortal and pestle. The mortal and pestle haven't changed much in the last 2 millennia. Herb rack, a wooden rack containing various dried and ground substances. Ще статуя. Statue of Apollo. A large stone statue of Apollo, the Roman and Greek god of disease and healing, among other things. Okay. Lucretia.
Give me a moment.
Дуже
Sorry I'm
diversified.
such a mess. I just lost a patient and a dear friend.
Я думаю, що чорні
She was a good woman.
хіба що у вигляді рабів тоді були. Що їх завозили десь з Африки. What
She
happened?
was poisoned. She came in here frothing at the mouth. Normally I'd treat her with resin of silphium, a rare plant which is perfect for this sort of thing. And I knew Decius had some at his market stall, right around the corner. So I ran over there, but he just looks at me with this evil smile and says, "That'll be 1,000 denarii." There was no way I could afford that, and he knew it. Then that toad shrugs and says, "Supply and demand. I guess you don't value your friend's life that highly." Anywhere else, I'd just pay a thug to steal it from his stall. But there's no way I can do that down here, with the golden rule. So all I could do is come back here and just watch her die. I kept on
Це не
apologizing.
то, як supply and
And
demand
now I'll
працює. Ти не
never
можеш
know who
назвати
poisoned
будь-яку.
her, or how they managed to do it
Космічну
without
ціну.
breaking the golden rule, or why she cursed that snake's cruel black eyes with her dying breath.
Is there something I can do
Well,
to help?
unless you have the power to bring someone back from the dead, there's really just one thing you can do. Get me that silphium resin. I'm going to have another patient in here soon. Could be in the next day or in the next hour. And I will not allow this to happen again. I don't care how you get it, but you have to make it happen. Because if I lose another patient this way, I swear to the gods below, not even the golden rule will stop me from marching up to that genetic
Brutal.
comfortutor and scratching his eyes out.
Це якась адвенчура, яка дуже високі оцінки і багато стрімили. I'll get right on it. This will prioritize the quest showing its objective markers
Well,
only.
come back if you get sick or injured. Day or night, I'll do what I can.
Окей. Пішли до цього Дейсіуса. О, хлібчик. Ого. Виглядає стрьомно. A circular loaf of bread designed to be pulled apart into wedges. It appears to be freely available to anyone who wants it. Stone meal. Так, персона дохуя коштує. Дорожче, ніж Call of Duty. A stone mill, it looks like floor and grain are poured in from above and ground between the stones and the handles are rotated. Ні, це не стендалон Skyrim, це стендалон гра.
Greetings and salutations.
Її три людини зробило. На Unreal. На Steam у нього там щось типу 98% approve rate. Типу дуже крутий сюжет, не знаю. Хочу подивитися.
Wonder how much one of these statues is worth on the outside. Salve, stranger, and welcome to our idyllic little slice of the Empire. I'm Dacius.
Називається The Forgotten City.
Terrible shame what happened to Yulia. But we just have to carry on, don't we?
До речі, що там про неї на Metacritic пишуть, цікаво. The Forgotten City Metacritic. 84 Critic Review, User Review 8,3. Wonderful game, the story is a masterpiece, but the only problem is that I can't finish one of the endings too quickly. I wish I had been ignorant of the truth for longer. I am generally so impressed with a team of only 3 developers. They have managed to accomplish so much. Fantastic story, time concepts, history, philosophy, and open worldish type adventure tickled all my boxes. The content of the quest was also very unique, no fetch X quest, each was memorable. Acting, both the animations and voiceovers were very well done. It was super engaging, each character felt real. The only downside that I felt it was fairly short, but it might be because I loved it, and I wanted to explore as much as I could ASAP. Game Informer поставив 90. Так що worth exploring. Не що вона поганенько виглядає. Та це наче не мод Skyrim. А ні, такий мод. Lol. It is a full video game adaptation of the critically acclaimed The Elder Scrolls Skyrim mod. Ну, типу, це по мотивам. Але не думаю, що вони от просто можуть взяти мод і релізнути його як свою гроші, за неї гроші платити. Бо це називається спіздили. Тому вони типу переписали. Чувак кинув кар'єру едично, щоб її запилити, хіра собі. А хто інші 3? Верніше, хто інші 2. Там 3 чуваки. Когось найняв. Навіть забашляв комусь гроші. А, там теж привіт. Діме Жені. Давай спитаємо, за кого він буде голосувати.
I mean, Sentius couldn't even keep his daughter safe. What hope does he ever protecting us?
Блін, ніхто не хоче за Сентіуса цього голосувати. I'd like you to vote for Sentius.
Not going to happen.
Okay. What do you think about the golden rules?
Is what it is. There's so much gold just lying around, it's practically worthless. At least down here. Of course, I have an idea for generating real wealth, but what I need is a bow. Just a simple composite bow. I've scoured this city from top to bottom with no luck. But if you happen to find one, bring it to me and we'll talk.
Hasn't the magistrate banned weapons?
Oh, well, technically yes, but that just means you'll need to be a little discreet.
I'll see what I can do.
You mean how did I end up here? That is a lengthy tale. All right. Well, you see, I'm in the business of procuring rare and precious objects liberated from the enemies of Rome. Mostly sculptures, vases, the occasional slave, fetch a magnificent price in Roman high society. Had myself a nice little shop
Мені
in Rome,
цікаво
just
все ж
off
таки,
the
чим мене ця гра
forum,
зможе
lots of foot
здивувати.
traffic and close to the docks. Good place to be when the fires broke out. See, about 7 months ago, half of Rome caught on fire. Everyone who couldn't get to an outer gate was
Але
running for
тут
the
настільки
river,
прям
hoping to escape by
серйозно.
barge. So I gather my coins in some
Концепт там
priceless vases
сюжету
into
все
a
таке.
cart and had my most loyal slave girl, pretty young thing named a Camphor, push it for me. All the way down to the river, I'm elbowing through a stampede of people, turning back now and then to make sure she hasn't legged it with my valuables. But, to my surprise, we make it, and I see this barge loading up, and it's so full it's almost sinking. But the captain's happy to take my coin, so I start boarding, and then he puts his hand on my chest and he says, "No, too heavy. The cart or the girl." So I did what anyone would have done.
Chose the girl,
The
right?
girl? Weren't you listening? All my valuables or the girl? I mean, I can always buy a new slave girl if I still have my money. So I put my hand on the cart, and I guess she realised what was happening because those pretty black eyes of hers go all wide. And in one swift motion, she topples the whole bloody thing into the tiber.
So you took her with your throw.
No, I dived in after it, of course. Aren't you paying attention? That was a bloody fortune. Only, I guess I must have hit my head or something because everything went black. When I came to, I'd washed up on the riverbank not far from here with nothing in the world but a single silver coin.
Це, до речі, я теж тільки з одною монеткою з'явився. Я теж з мене виловили з річки. Ось. Що схоже у всіх, мабуть. Commiserations.
Thank you, friend. But it turns out it might have been a stroke of good fortune because this place is a veritable treasure trove. Look around you. There must be more gold in here than in the treasury of Rome. If I can just figure out how to get it out of here.
Do you know a way out
I'm
of here?
afraid not. If you're desperate, I did hear that Aurelia down at the tavern claims to know of a way out, but I'm not sure I trust her. Some people here are a little shady for my liking.
Thanks, I'll keep an eye on for them. In 2018, after the release of the mod, Pierce quit his daily job and hired several other developers to form modern storyteller. Ніхера собі. The resulting development process took 4.5 years by harsh development conditions, with Pierce working 80 hours weeks to the point of hallucination to avoid crunching fellow developers. Фіга собі, чувак, конечно. Мабуть, переплюнув чувака, який зробив цей, як його, господі. Цей клон Harvest Moon, як його звуть. Stardew Valley. Це, конечно, success story. Так розумію, вона і продалася нормально. Цей The Forgotten City. Де вона там? Сторінка в крамниці. Ну, не тільки усіх рецензій 6000, це дуже багато. Зазвичай це означає, що дуже багато в неї пограло людей. Вона отримала BAFTA Game of the Year 2022, Best Debut Game, Best Debut Game Indie Game 2021. Golden Joystick Awards, PC Game of the Year, Ultimate Game of the Year. The Gamer Game of the Year 2021 winner, Best Narrative winner, GameSpot 10 Best Games of 2021, Polygon the Best Games of 2021. Absolute masterpiece of interactive storytelling. Even with multiple degrees in Roman history, this still taught me a few fun facts I didn't know. One of the single best explorations of classical history ideas and philosophy I have encountered in popular media. I cannot recommend this experience enough. Okay. I need some silphium resin.
Certainly. All I ask is a reasonable price of 1,000 denarii.
How would I come up with 2,000
That's hardly my
denarii?
concern. But if you get a job, work hard, and save your coins, you should be able to afford it within, say, 5 years?
I don't have that
Very
kind of
well.
money.
Perhaps I can interest you in something within your budget? Very well.
Окей,
Another time.
мудила. Цікаво, якщо я вкраду, мені щось буде за це? Графіті. Popils, the thief stole my purse and I, whoever wrote this, did not get to finish. A bottle of silphium resin. An extremely valuable ancient Roman remedy for various afflictions. І типу я можу і вкрасти. Але... Це сторі гра. І мені здається, що мені за це прилетить.
Greetings and salutations. Greetings. I'm Georgius. It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I. And I must say, my sartorial friend, your clothing is most extraordinary. Leather boots in place of sandals, trousers with precise stitching.
У мене на роботі є колега
Such a
грек.
curious design. I have
А у нього
traveled,
такий же самий
distanced
говор.
trade routes from the markets of Damascus to the farms of India. And never have I seen anyone dressed quite like you. Tell me, I must know. From which exotic part of the world do you hail?
My nation doesn't exist yet. From beyond the edge of the known world. You would never believe me if I told you. Якщо я йому правду
Is
скажу.
this a riddle, or perhaps you mean to say you feel like you are ahead of your time? I feel the same way. Another reason for us to stick together. We will have much time here to get to know one another. But for now, do you require assistance? I know you do not require clothing, so information perhaps?
Все ті ж питаннячка. Who are going to what?
That is quite the dilemma. But after some reflection, I'm leaning toward voting for
Ти
my
хочеш
own.
до цього
I
малювався
do
хоча б
not
голосувати?
enjoy the thought of another visit from Domitius if I voted the wrong way.
Оцінки на
Nothing
течення.
comes to my mind, my friend.
What do you think of the golden rule?
Yes. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. As a Greek, this is nothing new to me.
А, ну
It
він і
is
грік.
how our gods operate.
Тобто це, в принципі, як греки англійською звучать. Why do you say that?
Have you not heard the tale of the god Hades? He was the first to learn this dreadful lesson when he abducted Persephone and imprisoned her in the underworld. When Demeter, the mother of Persephone, learned of this, she did not punish Hades, the guilty one. Instead, she changed the climate of Earth so that it became
Да,
hot
оце
and
от
dry.
дивно, що
Nothing grew.
у них
The
немає
grain
звуку
turned
«чи»,
to empty husks, and the
походу.
rivers dried up.
І от у мене колега
Innocent
теж,
people
типу,
died by the
у нього
tens of
все
thousands, until at
цикає
last the other
тінь.
gods were forced to act, lest they have no worshippers left. So yes, we know this rule. This has always been the case. The golden rule has merely brought it into focus.
What can we do
If
about
we
it?
are to survive, I say we must each heed the simple wisdom of Thales of Miletus, first of the 7 sages of Greece, who said, "Avoid doing what you would blame others for doing."
Avoid doing what you would blame others. Sounds simple enough.
It does, doesn't it? But it is not enough for us to do this alone. For even if 99% of us adopt this principle, that will never be enough. Sadly, no matter how well we protect ourselves, the life's work of many good people can be undone in the blink of an eye by a single selfish act.
I know I've seen it happen.
The voice of experience. I am sorry for your loss, my friend. But on a lighter note, I will say one thing for the golden rule. For all their grim and haunting poses, these golden statues do make magnificent models for my clothing, do they not?
Do you know a way out of here?
Not so loud. What are you playing at?
So did I say the wrong
Have
thing?
you not been told about the last attempt?
The last attempt?
Then I suppose this duty falls to me. Ah, it is a long story.
Why don't you tell me?
Of course, the first question any of us asks when we first arrive is, how do I escape? It is only natural after all. And scaling the chasm wall is out of the question, for it is simply too steep and too far. But as they say, if the wind fails, use the oars. And here the second option is to leave the way we came in, through the shaft above the bathhouse. See, the shaft is quite high, but if one gathered up enough wood, one could make a series of ladders and climb one's way out.
Why hasn't anyone done that yet?
Have. I am getting to that. There was an attempt made by resourceful fellows who lived here some years ago. They even decided to keep records of their escape attempt for posterity. Unfortunately, as soon as they began to carry the first ladder down the hallway, they heard a godlike voice shake the entire city, and that, tragically, is where their tale ends. So it seems that to merely attempt escape is to invite the wrath of whichever god oversees this place, and so I say it is best to not even discuss it aloud.
Got it, thanks. What's your story?
My story? How kind of you to ask. I am a tailor and I run the humble shop in the forum.
Why stop a tailor shop here?
You mean to say, with all the turmoil and terror of the Golden Rule and so few customers, why bother setting shop at all?
Yes, more or less.
I tell you, it is precisely because of the Golden Rule that I wish to remind my friends of the importance of looking one's best. I say, the more of our customs we preserve down here, the more we can preserve a semblance of normality, the better our chances of keeping our health. Don't you agree?
Sounds reasonable.
Oh, and there is another reason too. If we all end up as golden statues for future generations to marvel at, I don't know about you, but I would like to look my best.
Який позитивний грек. How did it end up here?
A good question. A very good question indeed. And I would be happy to tell you if only I could remember it clearly myself.
Why don't you tell me what you do remember?
I remember I had just been to Rome to sell an extraordinary selection of wares, and drowning in coin, I decided to celebrate my success. I rented a prestigious villa by the Tiber, invited over a few select
От мені
friends,
теж цікаво, де вони
and
беруть
we
взагалі
began
якісь
making
матеріали.
our way through some of the most
Source
exquisite
material.
wine money could buy. Quite a lot of it,
Там
in
он
fact.
хлібчик лежав, який
Now,
можна було
I
всім
have
брати.
had visions and awoken in strange places before. I have even found myself naked in the desert sands more than once, but none of that compares to this. This time, I remember people screaming, then falling into a void as empty as time before creation, gasping for air, and then nothing. When I regained my faculties, I was lying naked by the banks of the Tiber, gods know how many miles from my villa.
So you floated down the Tiber.
Indeed. I'm lucky I was carrying a little extra weight. I believe it kept me afloat. In any case, it seems I'd been rescued and resuscitated by a benevolent stranger. I went to find firewood for his campfire, stumbled across a cave, and discovered that trapdoor temple. And here I am.
Невже їх всіх рятувала ця дівчина Карен, яка врятувала мене? Let's talk about something
Anything you
else.
like. I
Ага, ну я
hope
все
that our
розказав.
paths cross again soon, my friend.
Okay. Dyes for coloring clothing. This appears to have been extracted from plants and insects. О. І тут можна вкрасти гроші. Мені цікаво, це має впливати якось на сюжет, якщо я вкраду просто гроші. Я думаю. Треба
Greetings and
зберегтись.
salutations.
Чи є тут ще хтось? Сінер. Пікатор.
Make sure you stay away from that empty shrine. It's going to
Shovel.
collapse at
О,
any
яка
moment.
прикольна лопата. A Roman fire shovel made of bronze. It smells like ash. Цікаво, навіщо оці от штучки по боках? Дивні. Bellows. A pair of bellows used for blowing air into the furnace and help raise the heat. Anvil. A Roman anvil looks like odd without a horn, but must be a more modern innovation. До речі, так, прикольно, що вона не так виглядає, як зазвичай в фільмах виглядають ці енвіли. І тут гроші. Accusatory note. A note insinuating that Virgil is a sinner. Do you really want to be responsible for the sin that destroys us all? Цікаво, що він такого зробив. Зараз його спробуємо спитати. А з приводу... I know who you are and what you want. Turn away from this past before we all suffer for your sins. Ага, їх там вже багато у нього ціле відро. Я так і не зрозумів, воно десь себе беруть, чи я так зрозумів, що це як, типу, магічне місце, головне, типу, місто. Головне не слідувати цьому золотому правилу. І, типу, все інше він якось там провайдиться все.
A new face. Salve, and welcome to a little community. My name's impossible to pronounce for most people, so you can just call me Virgil. You arrived on a sad day, friend. What
Чому у
was
нього
Julia's
французький
death?
акцент?
I wish we could have met under better circumstances.
І Virgil не так уж складно вимовляється. Who are you going to vote for?
Malleolus is talking about loosening some of the restrictions in this place. And while it's all a bit vague, at least he has a vision.
Всі хочуть за цього мудака голосувати. Anything I can do to change it?
My vote isn't for sale, if that's what you're asking.
Okay. I noticed the graffiti. Why does someone think you're a
Look,
sinner?
I haven't done anything wrong, if that's what you're thinking. Somebody just has a problem with my preference for male company.
Ah, yay. You like men?
Hey, nothing gets by you, huh? Sorry, that was mean. Yes, I like men. And when you grow up in the north, as I did, in the city of Noviomagus, you expect a bit of hostility. The Batavi are not known for their tolerance. I saw enough friends killed or driven away to know the cost of not keeping your personal affairs to yourself. So I hid who I was for, what was it, nearly 10 years? Watching what I said and where I looked. But that kind of fear eats away at you slowly, until living isn't any better than the thing you were afraid of. Needless to say, since I'm now living underground, halfway across the known world, with an assumed name, my openness didn't go down well among the enlightened folk of the Batavi.
I'm sorry to
Nice
hear
of you
that.
to say, but not necessary. In any case, the Romans are far more accepting, and among them, I get to be who I am. Or at least I thought that was the case. It seems I was wrong.
Do you know who is writing the graffiti?
It's not just graffiti. I have quite a collection of handwritten notes too. The strange thing is, I keep my personal affairs to myself. I've never really been interested in any of the men here. Not my type. So I'm not sure what I could have done to upset this person. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably one of those cultists.
Cultists?
Strange bunch. They insist there's only one god, and that he considers my nature a sin. Can you believe that? If there are any of them here, they won't admit it. Not since they supposedly burnt down half of Rome last year and went into hiding. All I know is, if these threats keep escalating, eventually my secret admirer is going to cross a line and break the golden rule.
Let me look into it for you.
Really? I didn't expect that. But thanks. It's always a pleasure to meet someone so selfless.
На чому вони пишуть в сенсі, на якій мові?
I'd start by figuring out who the cultists are. Or maybe ask around among the merchants here. Someone who lives or works in the forum must have seen something. But if you find them, please don't hurt or humiliate them. I suspect they're just confused.
I'll see what I can do. Так, а що ти
Some
думаєш
people
про...
say it's divine, the work of a god, but I'm not so sure. It just
Якщо ти
seems
про мову,
so
то...
flawed to me.
А, на якому матеріалі?
Like it's distinctly human. I mean, once
А на
you've
якому
been here
матеріалі,
long
до речі,
enough,
писали
you notice people doing things that just seem so wrong to you.
в 60-му...
This so-called god
Як
doesn't
це
seem to
сказати?
care.
В 60-му році нашої ери.
Either you don't know the difference between right and wrong,
Казали, що це 65-й рік нашої ери.
and I'm pretty sure
Тоді
I
вже
know the difference.
доставлявся якийсь там папірус з Єгипту.
Good. Then I hope you'll agree that there are only two ways of dealing with unfair rulers. The first is to leave. The second is to remove the ruler from power. And it seems leaving may not be an option.
І тоді ще на дощечках писали. А папірус було дуже лакшері матеріал. How do you remove a god from
Good
power?
question. It's best if I say no more, but I hope you'll give it some thought.
Пергамент можливо. Але я не знаю, в якому році воно, типу, з'явилося як більш-менш розповсюджений матеріал. Do you know a way
You
out of
wouldn't
here?
believe how often the new ones ask that question. But I'd tell you the same thing I tell everyone else. There are much worse places to live out your days. You might have a few sleepless nights thinking about the golden rule, but once you get used to the fear, knowing that a single slip-up could cost you everything, it's not too bad. Nothing new to me, anyway.
Не знаю навіть, чи таке гуглиться. Папірус був настільки поширеним, що єгипетські купці загортали в нього покупцям товару. Так, ну на українській Вікіпедії, мабуть, дуже мало. Історії. Ну, в перше століття нашої ери вже були ці пергаменти. І от є фрески Roman portraiture fresco of a young man with a papyrus scroll from Herculaneum 1st century AD. AD це наша ера. А, ну. Тобто це міг бути як і папірус, так і пергамент. В принципі. І от папірус почав зникати тільки в 600-х роках. Common Era. Після того, як мусліми почали завоювання Єгипту. Якось так. Ну от, до речі, пишуть в Вікіпедії, що пергамент потім замінив насправді папірус. Це якісь варіації пергаменту. Ну, типу, парчмент, це ж пергамент. Papyrus was replaced in Europe by the cheaper locally produced products parchment and vellum, of significantly higher durability in moist climates. Значит, таки vellum. Vellum. Российскую велени. Материал для письма или книгопечатания шкур млекопитающих. Из телячьей кожи. But once you get used to the fear, knowing that a single slip up could cost you everything, it's not too bad. Nothing new to me anyway. What do you mean?
Oh, I just mean I grew up in the Batavi tribe, far to the north in Novio Magus, and learned to expect a bit of hostility.
Ну, пише, що він кліматично був більш вигідний. В мойст клімату. Іначе дешевший. What's your story?
I'm an architect. Or at least I was back in Rome. That's probably too grandiose a term to describe what I do here. Help out with repairs and try to stop old buildings.
Ну да, я розумію, тому що папірус там
But you probably don't want to hear about
він був супер дешевий.
architecture or mysterious history of
Я
this
пам'ятаю, ну я читав, що з ним навіть, типу, торгаші в Єгипті загортали просто як свертки товару. Це реально як оберточна бумага навіть використовувалася. But you probably don't want to hear about the ingenious architecture of mysterious history of this place. Ну давай розкажи мені, tell me about this history.
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Some of these shrines were constructed hundreds of years ago, which means Romans have been arriving here for at least that long. But there's one thing that puzzles me. The oldest shrine in this avenue isn't Roman at all. It's Greek.
Kind of known fact. What does it mean?
I'm not sure. It could mean that the Romans who first started building here were just copying Greek architecture, which they do all the time. Or it could mean that there were Greeks living and worshipping here before the Romans arrived. Which begs the interesting question, who really built this place? And could it be far older than any of us imagine? If only there was a way we could talk to the people who came here before us. The stories they could tell.
Ну да, до речі. Я думаю, що в Древньому Єгипті було набагато більше літератури. Okay, tell me about the city of Switzerland.
Personally, my favorite thing about this place is the aqueducts. Those series of adjoining arches. They're an ingenious feat of Roman engineering with a very practical purpose. They take fresh water coming from outside the city and distribute it all across the chasm. It's funneled below the palace and into a cistern beneath the great temple. Some of it flows down into another cistern beneath the villas, and the rest is funneled to the shrine of Proserpina, where it fills the lake and allows us to fish and farm.
Чому вони Просерпіна називають Персифону? Є ж англійське слово Персифон. If they bring water into the city, could we use them to escape?
Hey, not so loud. Just talking about that could anger the gods for all we know. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you'd have to find a way inside somehow. Just, please, try to be a bit more discreet about it.
То кожен розповідає про якісь свої варіанти ескейпу звідси. Tell me about the temple of the
The
love.
great temple? This one's a bit of a mystery. Given the way it's positioned so prominently, looking down on us, it's clear that whoever built it felt it was the most important temple in the city. Unfortunately, someone else went out of their way to keep its purpose a mystery. You see, usually a temple is dedicated to a particular god, like Proserpina or Diana or Apollo. Usually, that god is obvious. But in this case, it's unknown. There's an obelisk out the front, which probably used to bear the name of this unknown god. But it appears some barbarian defaced it. And of course we can't get inside because it's locked up tighter than the Temple of Saturn in Rome. And that contains the treasury. So we're all left wondering, which god is that temple dedicated to? And could it be the one responsible for the Golden Rule? Unless somebody figures out a way inside, I suppose we'll never know. Of
Yeah, let's
course.
talk about something else.
Nice to talk
В
to you.
принципі, я все і спитав у нього. Так, у мене там була якась... Було якийсь намек. Якийсь намек на... Карти немає, да? Якийсь намек на те, що можна дістати. A note from Dooley protesting his innocence. I did not do it, Dooley. До речі, що це? Це виглядає як папірус. Мені здається. Комбота ще не було. Тільки от почав грати. Тільки потрапив в це місце.
Hello? Hello?
Ті ж самі питання. What's your
My
story?
name's Dooley.
Dooley.
I live here now because I got in trouble and they said they had to lock me up.
What did you do?
I don't know. I don't remember things so good. I think it's just because I was looking for treasure.
Я ніколи не бачив вживу папірус. От в чому справа. На фотках, картинках я бачив. Ну, якщо погуглити... Блін, ну він виглядає як бумага. Ну так от. Чисто як фоточка. Тобто тут важко сказати по цьому зображенню, чи це папірус, чи ні. Бо він такий, як просто грубий папір. Трохи такого... Як це сказати? Трохи древесної текстури. I think it's just because I was looking for treasure. Did somebody think you were going to steal?
Yes. But I wasn't. I was just looking.
Is it all?
They said I did it. More than once. But I can't remember things so good. Then they called me mean names. They called me a liar, Billy.
Liar, Billy. A liability.
Yes. They said I have to live here now. And gave me this letter. But I'm not good with words. Do you think you could read it for me?
Oh, a letter from Sentius to Dooley. Magistrate Sentius to Dulius. I'm writing to you in relation to your incorrigible antisocial behavior arising from your obsession with an alleged lost treasure. While I'm sympathetic to your plight and the passing of your guardian Hannibal some weeks ago, I wish to impress upon you an important message. The treasure you seek does not exist. Given your memory limitations, it seems likely you simply misremembered. More importantly, since you have on several occasions been caught trespassing, including around the cisterns which are strictly off limits to all citizens, I have reluctantly come to the conclusion that you are a liability to this community and must have your freedom limited lest you break the golden rule. It is my hope that this letter will assist you to remember while you are incarcerated should you experience further lapses in memory. Reading мод. Що простіше було читати, ну окей.
What does it say?
It said they caught you trespassing several times and they locked you up to stop you breaking the golden rule.
My treasure!
What treasure?
My friend Hannibal used to look after me. He said he always would. But then, he died. It was very sad. He said, if anything ever happened to him, I had to find something very precious hidden away. He gave me this key and made me promise to keep it safe until I found the treasure.
Ганнібал — це той чувак, який
All I remember is he said
загинув
something
від
about
якогось монстра в
assistance.
підвалі тому.
But when I went up to the high one, they put me in here. Now nobody looks after me. Except my friend Galerius. And the priestess lady.
А Галеріус, не пам'ятаю, хто це. Це який одягу торгував чи цей blacksmith. If you give me the key, I can try to find out what it unlocks.
Said I shouldn't give it to anyone I didn't trust. But maybe you could help me get out of here. Then I would trust you a lot.
Let me talk to the magistrate about getting you out of here.
Valerius already tried that. He said the magistrate wouldn't listen, no matter what.
Then maybe it's time we had a new magistrate. Maybe I'll just break you out. Я не хочу міняти магістрата, тому що всі кажуть, що той інший магістрат він якийсь муділа. Але інший вибір це його якось від це відтягнути сили.
What about
Ладно.
the rules? I don't want everyone to get in trouble because I was bad.
Then maybe it's time we had a new magistrate.
Galerius? He's nice. I like Galerius. He made me a doll and everything. If you help make him magistrate, he can get me out
Ага,
of here.
тобто у нас
and I
може
can
навіть
give
бути
you the
більш
key to my
ніж
treasure.
два кандидата.
Hannibal said it was in the cisterns. I can't remember what it was, just that it was way up high and very precious.
I'll see what I can do. Do you know
You're
we're
going
out of
to
here?
let me out of here? Really? Oh. Please.
Ладно, не дуже у нього. Окей.
Gold? You mean treasure?
Зрозуміло, він не дуже розумний, ладно.
Bye-bye.
Але він не виглядає як якийсь трет. Так, що у нас є? Selection day and Malilus is hoping to oust Sentius as magistrate. I need to stop him somehow. Воно покаже мені, куди мені взагалі рухатися? Мабуть, ні. Не все має бути так просто. О.
You have to do something. A man arrived in the baths. Real nasty sort, with his face all covered up. And he's got a weapon. You have to do something, or he's gonna break the golden rule.
Але в мене немає зброї. Ow. I don't have a weapon.
None of us do. The magistrate made us throw them all into the chasm. So now this man's bow is the only one in the city. You'll just have to improvise.
Look.
Thank you. He's still in there, somewhere. I have to hide. Find me in this empty shrine when it's over. What? Why? All right, fine. Come and find me in my bakery instead. Please be careful. Fabia, but now's not the time.
Треба зберегтись. Спробуємо щось з цим зробити. Оу.
Stop right there. I'm looking for Tiberius Quinctius Crispus, otherwise known as Quinctius. Do you know where he is?
Цікаво. Що буде, якщо я збрешу? Yes, I saw him worshipping in a small round shrine just inside the city. Second building on your left. Я таки не пам'ятаю за всіма цими розмовами, що там про цей шрайн казали. В принципі, я зберігся, я можу повернутися. Може його відправити туди, може його там якось вб'є, але... Чи зможу я туди потрапити? Може хоча б спробувати дізнатися, що він хоче. I don't know,
I'm not sure I believe that, so allow me to explain something to you. I am here with orders from Emperor Nero himself to find and execute the cultist Quinctius for terrible crimes against the Empire. So, if you tell me the truth, I will allow you to live. But if you lie to me or otherwise obstruct the Emperor's business in any way, I will put this arrow through your chest. Is that understood? Thank you. Now tell me, who are you people, and what is this place?
We are just a small community of strangers who would wound up here by accident. Why don't you put that boat down and you can come and see you for yourself? І, я думаю, це не спрацює. Ладно, перше.
I was told Quinctius was a cultist, but I never thought he'd be foolish enough to lead me right to the heart of his mystery cult.
You got the wrong idea, we're not
You say
cultists.
that, but if you're not a cult, then why go to such great lengths to keep this place a secret?
We are not keeping it secret, we are all trapped here.
So you admit you're not allowed to leave?
It's not the way we are not... It's not that we are not allowed to leave, we're physically...
Threatening me is not going to help you. But in any case, that sounds an awful lot like a cult to me. And I saw the inscription saying, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." I take it this is some kind of mantra you all believe?
It's not a mantra, it's a warning.
A distinction without a difference. You've clearly been indoctrinated into this nonsense. Now tell me, where did you lot get enough gold to make all these statues?
They were once people who were turned... Блін, ну принаймні це правда.
Human sacrifice too. You people disgust me.
We didn't turn them to gold, the god did it and we don't know which one. Це звучить як культ. Ага. Мені здається, що йому немає сенсу особливо щось пояснювати.
Yes, yes, because I'm the real villain here. It's all clear to me now. The secret sanctuary, the indoctrination, the mantra, the human sacrifice. You're cultists, there's no doubt in my mind. What baffles me is how a person can believe in something with such zeal. They just can't see what they've become. However, you still have a chance to redeem yourself by telling me where Quinctius is. Do not waste it.
Мені здається, це момент, де він мене може вбити за неправильну відповідь. Откинути мій
Very
бот
well.
Квінтус.
Here's what I know. He's a 40 to 50-year-old man with distinctive eyes, one green and one blue. He's also known to have delusions of grandeur. The Emperor says he and his cult, your cult, are responsible for starting the fire which burnt half of Rome to the ground and killed thousands in the process.
Archaeologist Insight. А, до речі, я не сказав. Спочатку ти вибираєш, типу, як професію. Ти маєш обрати археологіста, який дає ці інсайти періодично тобі. Ти маєш обрати, типу, як воїна, який дає там чи щось трохи демеджу. А, дає тобі вогнепальну зброю з 10 патронами, які не можна поповнити, я так розумію. Якийсь там був, типу. Чи мошенник, чи щось таке. І там швидший спринт на 50%, і що ще. Ну, так, Archaeologist Insight.
Who are you to challenge what the Emperor says? Were you there? Do you have spies and scouts all over Rome, like he does? No, you do not. This is your last chance. Are you going to tell me where he is or not?
Ну, я ж, типу, сучасна людина. Я виплив з річки, типу, зустрів якусь Карен, жіночку. Вона каже, можеш піти і подивитися, типу, там в руїнах якогось, типу, там італійського міста римського старого. Там, типу, якийсь чувак заблукав, треба його знайти. Я такий, ну окей, говно питання. Я йду, а там портал, і він мене кидає сюди. Така зав'язка. Так, ну в будь-якому разі я не можу йому сказати, де він.
Then you're of no use to me. Do you have any last words?
Jesus Christ, you're an idiot. Я думаю, це визнати, що я культіст. If you fire the terror, everyone's here is going to die. Думаю, це його не зупинить. Say they wouldn't kill me if I told you the
And
truth.
there's a simple explanation for that. I lied. But if you want to know the truth before you die, here it is. Once I'm done with you and Quintius, I intend to kill every last one of you wretched degenerates. And I can think of nothing I'd enjoy more.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Що відбувається? Ого, мене вбивають. І що буде? Типу вони якось ресетять гру чи що? Окей, що я міг зробити? Breaking the golden rule isn't the end. Instead of reloading a save, we recommend following the magistrate instead. Окей. Можна спробувати, раз вони рекомендують. А там якраз був трохи жарт, типу. О, вони всіх людей в стати перетворюють. Там, коротше, такий підходить, типу, чувак, ти з ним розмовляєш, і ти такий, невже ти знаєш англійську? Він такий, англійську, я розмовляю латиною. І ти наче розмовляєш латиною. Блять. Окей, я все ж таки не добіг до магістрату. Він такий, ти розмовляєш латиною? Типу, не розумію питання.
I'm hiding.
Окей, що я мог сказати по-іншому? Не дуже очевидний
Stop
діалог.
right there. I'm looking for...
А ще одразу
Thank
скажу.
you. For your service to the Empire, I'll let you live for now, but you'd best make sure our paths don't cross again.
Мені здається, я зробив помилку. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. Oh. Що буде? Beware, shrine may collapse at any moment.
Curse you, cultist.
Ну, в принципі, теж спрацювало. By order of Emperor Nero, all loyal sons of Rome are ordered to hunt and execute the arsonist and murderer Tiberius Quintus Crispus, a citizen from the Aventine district of Rome. He's about 40 to 50 years old. He is average height, average build, has dark hair, and has one green eye and one blue eye. He is typically clean-shaven. He's a known associate of cultists and suffers from delusions of grandeur. Окей. Грошики. +1. 10 стріл, wooden bow. Straightener. It's all up to you. Теоретично я можу залишити, мабуть, собі цей лук. Або можу його віддати. І не факт, що я віддаю його в хороші руки. Ось ці купальні. Блін, а нічого так. О, тут плавати можна, але дихання закінчується. Нічого так басейн був у них. Досить глибокий. Круто, що вони таке будували в першому столітті. Більше тут нічого цікавого. Окей. Іншого збереження в мене немає, тільки один слот. Треба йому якось розпорядитися, тому я збережусь, мабуть. Я можу якось еквіпнути? От у мене є інвентар, у мене є ліхтарик. Bounty notice, fletched arrow, wooden bow. Ні, вдягти його не можу, да? А ні, можу вдягти. Головне не вистрілити. Тепер питання, як їм розпорядитися. А де всі? Фабія.
You took care of him?
He had a tragic accident in the shrine.
Accident? So, it's over? Oh God, it's such a relief. I really thought we were all going to die. I do have a question though. That shrine, the one I was going to hide in, did you know it was going to collapse?
Це був triple self-defense.
I don't understand. Oh, I see. I should probably keep my big mouth shut then. Sorry. I promise, nobody else will ever know what you did. But I know. That was really clever. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. Oh, speaking of which, welcome. I'm Fabia. Sorry I was a bit frantic before. Need anything?
Any idea who's threatening Virgil? Virgil зовут цього. Цей Галеріус.
Late last night,
Це цей
I was
грек.
cleaning my oven when I heard some noises outside. The forum's usually dead quiet at that hour, so I came out to see what was going on. To be honest, I thought maybe poor old Dooley had got out of his cell and was snooping around again. So I put my head out and saw someone in front of Virgil's shop. I couldn't tell who. It was too dark. I called out to them, but they just turned and ran off without a word. All I remember is they ran past a lit torch and the light glinted off something metallic. Armour, I think. So I suppose it could only be one of three people, Horatius, Domitius or Rufius. I hope that helps.
That does help. What do you think of Golden Rule?
I try not to worry about it. I mean, if people are nice to each other, we won't have anything to worry about, will we?
I like your optimism.
Thanks. And I like your teeth. They're so white. And your clothes. Oh, I bet my friend Georgius would like to get a look at you. And I'm sure he'd love to chatter about the Golden Rule with you too. He'll be just across the forum in his shop.
Do you know a way out of here?
You've been here a few moments and you're desperate to get out already? Why not give the place a chance before you try to leave? Good people here. Galerius works hard on the farm so I can put food on our tables. And Lucretia tries to keep us healthy. My friend Georgius is always mending our clothes. And Virgil makes sure these old walls don't fall down around us.
Ані Джорджа, а Галеріус
He does his best. I'm
це
just
лисий цей
saying,
чувак,
there
походу,
are worse
який нас
places
застріг
you could live out
спочатку.
your days. Well, I can tell from your funny accent you're not from around here, but that doesn't mean you don't belong, does it?
What's your story?
There's not much to tell. I mostly just bake bread and try to help out where I can.
How did
I
I
suppose
end
it
up
all
here?
started about 8 months ago. I was living in Rome with my family when I got sick. Terrible timing. My pa had just arranged a husband for me, a fisherman's son. I was about to meet him for the first time when I came down with an awful fever. I spent the next week in bed. Pa paid priests to make offerings to Asclepius, a white rooster, then a goat. But nothing worked. In the end, they decided I'd do better outside the city. Clean air in the countryside would do me good, they said. But after about a day in a carriage on the Appian Way, I was getting worse, not better. I remember closing my eyes for a bit, and I guess I must have fell asleep, because when I opened them again, I was in a forest by a river. I suppose the driver took off with his fee and left me for dead. Can't say I blame him. I wouldn't have wanted to catch what I had either. Anyway, I went searching for help, stumbled across the trapdoor temple, and here I am.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's nice of you to say.
Всі,
But you should save your sympathy.
щось загальне це ця
Lots of
річка.
people here need it more than I do.
Правда, не всі плавали в цій річці.
All right.
Окей.
Thanks again for taking care of our problem. I won't forget it.
Так, а де всі?
That's more like it.
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate. And now, I make this solemn promise to you, good citizens. Under my leadership, you will finally enjoy the freedom you deserve.
Я не встиг з усіма поговорити. Часи не було, я не можу зрозуміти, були вибори чи ні?
For my first act as magistrate, I hereby announce a day of celebration to mark the end of an era. The myth of the Golden Rule is no more.
The Golden Rule is real, you idiot.
For his attempt to deceive us all, Sentius is hereby found guilty of treason against the Empire.
What? Чому я не встиг вплинути якось на ці вибори?
This is madness.
His sentence, to fight for his life in gladiatorial combat against Domitius, here and now for your entertainment.
You have no idea what you're doing. You're going to get us all killed.
Wait, I exercise my right as a Vestal priestess to pardon him. I will not allow you to do this.
You're showing your true colors now, priestess. Your corruption sickens me. Domitius, ignore her. Proceed.
This is insanity. You'll doom us all.
Lies! It is time the Golden Rule was exposed for what it is. A children's fable, exploited by a treacherous leader to instill fear in all of us.
This is why he's in his gladiator gear. They've been planning this all along.
Shut up, all of you. The magistrate has spoken. I'm going to enjoy killing you, old man.
Щось вона...
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Ага. Окей. Знову починається цей катаклізм. О. О. То мені якось дозволять це предотвратить. Ого, він мертвий. Цікаво, чи залишить мені речі, які в мене є. Ага. Ага, це типу як новий луп. Time paradox.
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are and what you're doing with that bow on your back?
Ага, тобто речі залишаються. I'm Clarice and we have had this conversation before.
I don't think so. I've never seen you before in my life.
Your name is Galerius and you're about to offer to take me to see Sentius so he can tell me about the Golden Rule.
Oh, Bacchus, how much did I drink last night? Sorry to have
Непогано.
bothered you.
No problem, I have to go.
And since you seem to be in a hurry, you should try out this device I made. Worked real hard on it.
Що це за Zipline handlebar. А, ось чому там були вірьовки ці. Окей, дякую.
Just attach the pulley to the rope over the lake and hang on to the handles. If it works, it'll be faster than walking. And if it doesn't work, worst thing that can happen is you'll take a swim in the lake. I haven't quite summoned the courage to test it myself. But don't worry, it's completely safe. Probably.
Since you seem capable, perhaps you could care of some urgent problems for me.
Sounds serious. I'm listening.
I need you to stop Fabi entering the empty shrine and tell the new arrival he'll find what he's looking for in there.
Alright, let me see. Stop Fabia going in, but send the new arrival to the empty shrine. Understood.
І в мене буде 2 лука. That's it. Now go and fast as you can.
Go. But once I'm done, I'll need you to tell me how you know all of this.
Ого, це він припустив. Окей, я тільки поки що не розумію, як тут плине час. Бо поки я там розмовляв, настала ніч. A fermented fish sauce used as a condiment. Whoever it lives here must love this stuff. Прикольно. Fish sauce. Грошики. Roman shield. A type of ancient Roman shield known as scutum. Scutum? Banner. A legendary banner from the first Italica. This must belong to Horatius. An ancient Roman cavalry helmet with an enclosed face mask and plume made of dyed horsehair. Okay.
Cerberus lifts his triple head and lets out his threefold braying.
Livia, would you stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron? You'll scare away my customers.
They follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, but they are ignorant.
This again. You're in a world of your own, aren't you?
Ого, прикольно, тут так малювати вміли. Так. Galerius for Magistrate. Countered by I would rather drink Aurelius Special Brew. Тобто деяким Galerius це подобається. Looks like someone has been hard at work on prototype zipline. Ага, це те, що він якраз мені подарував. Так, ну, в принципі, я б почав, верніше, поки що продовжував би на цій основній площі. Тут зачинено. О, до речі, це працюючий, мабуть, зіплайн. Цікаво, це шорткат, щоб час не витрачати. Бо поки не зрозуміло, як він тут плине.
Salve again, friend. I went and did as you asked, and it worked. How is it possible that you've just arrived here and you already know everyone and exactly what's about to happen to them?
I'm reliving the same day over and over again. You will never believe me, I told you. Just a lucky guess. Я думаю, що можна сказати правду.
You're toying with me, right? Wait, you're not kidding, are you? That's the only way you could have known. You're a bit like... Oh, what was his name? Sisyphus. Yeah, that's the one. Old King Sisyphus.
Like Sisyphus
was a Greek king a long time ago. For daring to think he could outsmart the gods, he was given a terrible punishment. He was forced to push a great boulder up to the top of a hill. Only, just as it reached the top, it would roll all the way back down to the bottom.
І з'явилася поговорка Сізіфов труд.
For all eternity. Just like you. Actually, now that I think about it, there are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. Tantalus was made to grasp at fruit on a tree he could never quite reach. The Pleiades had to keep fetching water in a sieve. Oh, and Ixion was strapped to a wheel going round and round forever. But, on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were. Anyway, I don't know which god you managed to upset to get yourself into this position, friend, but you seem all right to me. So, I'll tell you what. I'll keep doing whatever I can to help you. And you just focus on finding a way to break the cycle you're in.
Sounds good,
Anytime, friend. Now, I'm going to keep your secret. Although, it's not as if I'll remember this next time we talk anyway, right? Oh, and if our conversations ever start to annoy you, just tell me you're busy. I know when I'm not wanted. May fortune smile on you, friend.
Окей, тобто у мене буде 2 лука. І це теж моральне питання. Чи треба мені віддавати його? Чи ні? Так, де там був цей жлоб? Ага. Ще один лук. Ще стріли, ще динарії. Тепер у мене 3 динарії. І 2 wooden bow. З'явилися якісь нові.
Ah, a new face. Sal.
Не з'явилися. Окей. О, і себе
You
не...
there. I'm sorry to trouble you, but I couldn't help but notice that fine bow you're carrying. No idea how you managed to get your hands on it, especially in the light of our dear old magistrate's ban, but I'm impressed. And before you ask, no, I wouldn't dream of trying to buy it from you. I have no use for a wooden bow myself. But I would like to propose a joint business venture of sorts. Tell me,
Okay,
do you
go
have
on.
any idea how people here end up as golden statues?
Cities come to life and fire golden balls are also
And
them.
here I was thinking I was the only one to figure it out. In any case, supposedly one or two of those arrows is enough to turn a full-grown man into gold. Now, of course, that is a travesty, a terrible, horrible waste of human life, which has to be stopped. And yet, on the other hand, I can't help but think of a tale told by that Greek fella Aesop, the goose that laid the golden egg. With the ability to transmute organic matter into gold, one could create infinite wealth. Use your imagination. Golden animals, insects, trees and plants. The Midas touch without the drawbacks. We are talking riches beyond imagining. And even if we were to split all those riches between the two of us, half of infinite wealth is still infinite. Interested?
Стоп, но я можу красти цю хрінь, перезавантажити цей світ, і мені нічого не буде. І не треба буде давати йому зброю, тому що він дуже shady man. I think the golden goose is meant to be a
Look, I
cautionary
might have
tale.
skimmed over that one, but don't be so pedantic. Are you interested or not?
That sounds
I'm
grossly
not
mythical.
suggesting we use such a bow on people. There's no profit in breaking the golden rule.
In that case, go on.
So the first question is, how do we get our hands on one of those golden bows? Now, I have a plan, but first, tell me, are you familiar with the story of the goddess Diana?
Чому я не можу відмовитися? Ну,
No
я не
problem.
пам'ятаю.
Allow me to explain. Diana is our goddess of the hunt, the moon, and the underworld.
Це все ще
depending on who you
пам'ятаю,
ask.
так.
The one thing priests and poets agree on is that she carried with her a golden bow and a quiver of golden arrows. And it just so happens that there is a shrine of Diana in this very forum, with a prominent statue of the goddess herself. And would you like to guess what she's holding in her hand?
Golden ball?
Precisely. I can't tell you how many hours I've spent in that temple staring at it, trying to figure out how to retrieve it without breaking you know what.
But you want me to steal it?
Gods, no. If you tried that, we'll be dead within moments, I'm sure. No, here's what I propose. You give your bow to me, I cover it in a thin layer of gold leaf, and we create a replica of a golden bow. Then you enter the shrine, extinguish the braziers, and under cover of darkness, swap out the fake for the original. It's not theft exactly, it's more of a trade. But make no mistake, this is a dangerous path, and there's no way of knowing where it will lead. But in my experience, all the best adventures begin with a risky first step. Now, you must have questions. Ask away.
Why can't I
Because
just
the
take
gods
it?
would see you, of course. Hence my proposal.
Не думаю, що для богів це велика різниця, але... Why can't you do it yourself?
I'm more of an ideas man, whereas you're obviously the more resourceful and heroic type. I have complete confidence in you.
Isn't it extremely
When
dangerous?
Prometheus stole fire from the gods and became a hero to all mankind, do you think he was worried about the danger?
Prometheus was also punished for eternity, if I recall
Only
correctly.
because he was silly enough to get caught. So, are you in, partner?
Mm,
Are you
мені не
sure?
подобається.
Last chance.
Mm,
Wonderful. Now, if you'll hand over your bow, I can get started applying a layer of gold leaf. This is a quality weapon. Now,
треба було зберегтися
bear
до
with me
цього.
for a moment. Here we are. A gut.
Fake golden bow.
Now I've gone and unlocked the Shrine of Diana for you, so as quick as you can, head on inside. It's just at the end of the street on the left. May the gods not watch over you.
Якщо я просто вкраду. От, типу, збережусь. І, типу, вкраду.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Ой-ой. Ой-ой. Окей. Окей. Цікаво, як в такому випадку взагалі можна зафейлити це тоді. А. Угу. Так, знову цей луп. Окей, у нас буде 3 луки. І багато стріл.
You, Sisyphus, attack or pursue the stone.
Так, це цей противний Руфіус.
Greeting.
I know you don't know where I'm from, but I really want to ask you some
My
questions.
friend, your words intrigue me more and more. But yes, very well. Ask me what you will.
Так, але
I
нових
hope that our
питання з'явилося. Ладно. У мене є Golden Bow. Це Фабія. Ага, там ще це відбувається.
You there?
Пані Дед.
Give me an idea for a scheme that'll make then you can make So, are you?
Так. Вилікуємо тут.
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman is dying? She's been poisoned. She needs the resin of a plant called Silphium, but that Kulas Kubul.
Я сильним резом.
What? Quick, give it here. Yulia, Yulia.
Юлія.
You need to swallow this. Here, let me help you.
Що відбувається?
In a moment, she should be able to breathe normally. That was extraordinary. How did you know she needed this exact thing? And at this exact moment? Are you some kind of oracle?
I'm a time traveler. Honestly, you wouldn't believe me if I told you.
A what? I'm sorry, I must have misheard you. I think it's your accent, because it sounded like you said time traveler. But whatever kind of
Я думаю, що
traveler
можу
you are,
розказати насправді все, що я хочу, бо можна все це
hearing my
ресетнути.
prayers and intervening. You just saved a person's life, and you should be proud of yourself. She might even be able to thank you herself in a few moments. And maybe she can tell us who poisoned her, and who she meant when she was muttering about that snake's cruel black eyes. In the meantime, I'm happy to help you with whatever it is you need.
Black Eyes. What's your story?
I'm Lucretia, and I'm going to be straight with you. I'm not a physician. This is Nevia's clinic. I've just been filling in ever since she disappeared. I'm tired and out of my depth and miserable all the time. But I'd rather take this on myself than let one of you lot mess it up.
How did you
My
end up here?
husband and I moved to Rome from Caesarea. He embraced the Roman way more than I would have liked and turned into an awful philanderer.
Що таке
I would
Цезарія?
have divorced him and
Це де?
demanded the return of my dowry, but I knew he would sooner have me killed than give me my right. So I waited for the right time to take what was mine and disappear. And then the fires came. As he prepared to evacuate our
Цезарія — це
villa,
Ізраїль.
I gathered our most precious belongings,
Це місто в
coins and
Ізраїлі.
gemstones, and the moment his back was turned, I ran. I could barely
Побудований
see for the
Геротом.
smoke. And the streets were full of people trampling each other. I
Кейсарія,
ran for the
чи
river,
Кейсарія.
like everyone else, and leapt in. The next thing I remember,
North Central
I was
Israel.
waking up on a riverbank, not far from here.
Located midway between Tel Aviv and Haifa. Теж Riverbank.
It's all right. Say what you will about this place. At least my fornicating husband will never find me. And while there's no shortage of snakes here, at least with the golden rule, they have to try to be discreet about it.
Why are you working out of?
This shrine was in
Fine.
use as a clinic long before any of us arrived here. Kind of strange to set up a clinic in the temple of the god of disease. But the god who inflicts a curse is also the only god who can undo it. So I suppose praying to Apollo for healing kind of makes sense.
Tell me more about Nivea.
She used to run the clinic. She was a midwife, not a physician, but she was the closest thing we had down here. And she was good too, until she suddenly lost all interest in us. One day she told me she'd made some profound discovery about the golden statues. This changes everything, she kept saying, but I had no idea what she was talking about. The last time I saw her, the last time any of us saw her, she was muttering to the statues. Like she could
Це
talk to
от
them.
сумасшедша
And then she
жіночка, це
shut
вона і є?
herself in the palace, barred the door
ні,
from the
не вона.
inside, and nobody's seen her since. She's been gone so long now, we figure she's either dead or up to something so strange that she doesn't want anyone else to know about it. But I really wish I could reach her, because that's the only hope I have of solving a troubling problem, a real thorn in the paw situation. One of my patients is suffering from terrible rheumatism. His joints are inflamed, and he's in constant pain.
Who?
I really shouldn't say. He wouldn't like it. And he's a little bit scary. He's become so irritable that the smallest things set him off. And I worry he'll end up losing his temper and lashing out. And you know what that means. I just know Nevia would know how to treat him, assuming she's still alive. But nobody seems to know how to get into the palace.
I'll see what I can do.
I suppose.
Do you know
I
a way
wish
out of here?
Some people here need proper medical care, not the half-baked, hanging by a thread excuse for treatment I'm giving them. Just don't get sick or injured here. I'll do my best to treat you, but I'm out of my depth and dangerously short on everything you can imagine.
What do you think
A
about the
city
golden rule?
without sin might sound good on paper, but whoever dreamt it up didn't think it through. Maybe it was an attempt to create some kind of utopia. But snakes like Decius will always find loopholes to exploit. And what can we do about it? Absolutely nothing. In some ways, we are worse off because we can't take the law into our own hands.
Keep hearing the statues whispering. Is that normal?
Oh, no. Sorry, I don't mean to worry you, but no, that is definitely not normal. There was one other person who claimed she could hear the statues talking to her. But that was Nevia, and she went a little mad.
Okay.
Anything about what?
Думаю, що вона вже все розповіла. Can we talk about
Sure.
Yulia?
What do you want to know?
Do you think she was poisoned or was it self-inflicted?
Do you really want to know? I mean, if somebody poisoned her, then surely they would have broken the golden rule, and So maybe it's best we don't discuss it. Gladly.
Окей.
That's a
Так, Юлия.
Oh, it's you. Sorry, I'm still a bit out of it. But thanks for trying to help me, I suppose. As much as I'm grateful that you tried to help me, it's just not safe for me to talk about it. Please, no more questions.
I want to know how someone poisoned you without breaking the golden
The
rule.
golden rule. That's the least of my worries. The gods may be cruel, but Malleolus and Claudia are far crueler.
Is that who poisoned you?
Please, just leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it.
I can't help unless you tell me what happened.
Persistent as Nemesis, aren't you? I can tell you, but it's a long saga.
Have all the time in the world.
I'd been here about a week when it dawned on me I'd be trapped here for the rest of my life. I could hardly breathe, and I knew I had to get out somehow. So when my new friend Aurelia offered me a secret way out, I would have done anything. And then I learned her asking price. 1,000 denarii. She was supposed to be my friend.
Чому?
I told her
Невже
it
цей
would
чувак,
take me
вона йому
years to
теж
save up
хотіла
that
продати
much.
це за 1000, тому
So
за
she
1000 хоче
suggested
продати
I take
ці
out a loan from Malleolus.
ліки за 1000.
And I did.
Why would he lend you so much money? Think you would be out of here before you ever have to pay back the loan?
I had to sign an agreement saying I'd work off the debt over 30 years. But I figured I'd be out of here so soon it wouldn't matter. I paid Aurelia, and she gave me her so-called way out. Do you want to know what it was? Hemlock.
Отрута? Hemlock? What's hemlock?
It's a deadly poison made from a plant. Drink this, she said, and you'll be out of here in no time. Of course, I demanded my money back, but she
Чому тоді
refused.
всі
She
на цьому
pointed to a sign on
цій
her
сумі
tavern
зациклені?
saying, "Let the buyer beware." Then she just looked at me with those cruel black eyes and she laughed. She immediately told Malleolus I'd tried to escape without paying him back. Only he didn't seem upset or surprised at all. In fact, he just thanked her. And that's when I realized the two of them had planned the whole thing from the beginning.
Surely that would have broken the golden rule.
That's what I said to the magistrate. I went to Sentius and begged for help, but he said the law was clear. I'd signed over my labor for 30 years and there was nothing he could do. I thought about resisting too. But Malleolus said if I didn't submit, I'd break the golden rule. And I couldn't be responsible for all those deaths, so he locked me in his villa. Confiscated everything I owned as collateral, and made me wear immodest, humiliating outfits while I worked day in, day out. His wife Claudia was just as bad. She sent me to work on an endless stream of futile, demeaning tasks. I'd be on my hands and knees, scrubbing the floor clean for hours, only for her to pour slop on it and hiss, "You missed a spot." Those two took everything from me. But they forgot to confiscate one thing. My hemlock.
So you poisoned
I just
yourself.
wanted it to be over. But it seems I messed that up too. Should have drunk all of it.
I'm sorry to hear
I
that.
brought it on myself. I trusted one of the most callous human beings I've ever met, and tried to swindle the other. I don't know how I could have been so stupid.
So what will happen
When
to you
I've
now?
recovered, I expect their thug Domitius will come for me. He'll escort me back to their villa, and I'll be right back where I started. Only this time, I won't be able to lull myself to sleep at night with the thought of a permanent solution. Honestly, it would have been better if the poison had been allowed to run its course.
I'm sorry, can I do
I
anything to help?
doubt it. It seems this is the fate the gods have chosen for me, for trying to escape. At least until someone breaks the golden rule. Huh. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
I have a better idea. How much would it cost to buy your freedom?
A lot. But it doesn't matter. I made a suicide
Стоп, ну я
pact with Ulpius last
1000
night.
цю заплатити.
He's in exactly the same position as I am. Malleolus and Aurelius set the same trap for him a month after they did it to me. He and I are in this together. He's probably already thrown himself from the bluff into Malleolus's villa by now. If so, I'd never be able to live with myself, knowing I broke my promise to him.
Figure out how to stop Ulpius from killing himself. Perhaps I can
I
help him
doubt you
too.
could make it up to the bluff in time. I don't know who you are, or why you seem so determined to help me, but... Thank you.
Я можу дістатися туди вчасно. I'll see what I
All
can do.
right, but please don't take too long.
What do you
Our
think about-
priestess Equitia once told me it's the god's way of creating a city without sin. But if that's the case, then whichever god is responsible for it didn't think it through. I mean, all it really does is make bad people better at hiding their sins, and good people too frightened to stand up for themselves. I've seen Malleolus, Claudia, and Domitius make grown men cry. Romans. They don't cry easily. They've never physically hurt anyone. But the point is, they don't have to. They've got people running scared because everyone knows Malleolus is the favorite to win today's election. Really? Then I hope fortune smiles on you, friend. If that's your idea of a joke, it's not funny.
Ой-ой.
Go away.
Це було дійсно інсенситив трохи питати після того, що як вона
I
себе
know.
траванула. Бля, ладно.
May Apollo keep you safe.
No idea what you're talking about. Whatever.
Треба зберегтися.
No idea. Yeah? What?
Мгм. Так, що я можу ще зробити? Де я ще не був, який квест не робив? Можна спробувати це. Як тут потрапити? Треба якийсь ключ. А. Ну, сказав, я можу просто туди сходити, але... Ой. Було боляче.
May Apollo keep you feeling? Of course, there. That's a
Щось я забув, що там було про цю шрайн. А, це те, що він мені сказав. Угу.
Are they? And you... Interesting. I'm not sure why you're telling me, but you've come to the right person.
Some people mention the river.
I understand many of our friends were carried here by a river current. What else? There are definitely some common threads. Keep asking people. Livia's fate weighs heavily on my mind. And come back.
Окей. Так. Як туди потрапити? Або якось там обійти. А, до речі. Ха. Ха. Climbable. Якось по-іншому потрапити туди не можна? Бляха, да що ж воно так падає? Find me.
Isn't the great temple majestic?
Що тут? Ага, це туалет. Communal public toilets. These halls must be designed for use with a sponge and on a stick. Окей. Always remember they are watching. Sponge on a stick, це типу, щоб підтиратися? Fountain producing fresh water which is coming from the aqueduct behind it. If water enter the city via the aqueducts, perhaps there is also a way to escape through them. Так, а як цим користуватися? Тільки вниз? Чи можна якось... Note from Navia. I'm locking myself in, don't try to follow me, nothing good will come of it, Navia. Окей. Old chest. Ще стріли. Звучить, наче якась драка. Окей, але там було написано, що є інший шлях туди потрапити. О, баблішка. Може звідси? Так, а що там? Іде як шлях до вілли. Але, мабуть, мене не пустять туди так просто. Це Сізіф? Locked. Find a creative way into the upper cistern. Creative way. Сюди це стіна.
Salve, friend. I'm Octavia. Welcome to life under the Golden Rule. It's a ghastly thing, is it not? How are you faring so far?
Це та сама Октавія, яка тут наче погана. Actually, you need to talk to
All right,
Opus.
well, it was lovely to meet you. I look forward to getting to know you better over the coming months. And if you ever...
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh no. No. No, 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 no. Orpheus, what are you doing? Get back from there. If you lose your balance, you'll fall.
That's the idea.
What? Why? Why would you want that?
Why do you think I'm stuck for the rest of my life working for a man who treats me like an animal?
I know things are hard for you right now. They're hard for all of us. We're all in this together, Ulpius. Please, please just think this through. If you do this, it could be the sin that seals all of our fates. Is that what you want?
I'm sorry, but I just don't care anymore.
Please, Ulpius. Help him. If he goes through with it, it could be the end for us all. I don't know what to do. I've never had to deal with this sort of thing. Please, you need to talk to him.
Do you really think his suicide would break the golden rule?
I don't know, but it's a crime for slaves to take their own lives. And a debt bondsman isn't far off.
Alright, I will talk to him.
And please, choose your words carefully.
Ulpius, can we talk?
Let me guess. You're going to lecture me on how suicide is a crime against the Empire.
No, I think you have the right to die if you're suffering badly enough. No. Право так
You're
немає.
not going to trick me. I'm no coward. I intend to go through with it.
I just think there are reasons to
Like
stay
what?
alive.
I'm stuck slaving away for that culus cumulatis for the rest of my life. What do I have to live for?
Maybe we can be
You're
friends.
just saying that to buy time. You must think I'm an idiot. I'm out. Wherever you are. Scintilla, my love. I'm sorry.
Ulpius, no! I can't believe he went through with it. Oh Lord.
Suicide didn't break the golden rule. What does it
Well,
mean?
I suppose it means suicide isn't a sin under the Golden Rule. So I guess that means whichever god is responsible for it. It isn't mine. That was not your fault. There's no way you could have given
В
him what
принципі,
he
ми можемо
wanted
ревайднути
moments
це і
after you
прийти,
arrived.
вже знати, що йому сказати.
I'll have to let everyone know what happened. And I guess Malleolus will have to clean up the mess in his villa. It's of his own making, after all. And I'd best pray for poor Ulpius.
Ладно, я думаю, що ми на цьому закінчимось. Я трохи втомився. Але, в принципі, прикольно. І ідея прикольна, і... До речі, це... Ці голоси. Оу. Що буде, якщо я стрибну?
Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected.
Ага. Ми дізналися, як туди потрапити до цього Майлса. Якщо що.
And now,
Дивно, що він розбився тоді. Думаю, що ми на цьому закінчимо, але прикольно. Виглядає прикольно. Потенційно прикольно. Буде видно, як там далі сюжет цей розгортається і персонажі. Але я не знаю не так багато ігор, які в принципі от, якось обігрували цей таймлуп. Типу Stanley Parable. Частково. Оцей нова гра шутанчик цей. Але, чесно кажучи, я не осилив. Типу, забавно прикольно, але кожен раз новий цей рівень проходити і вбивати трохи набридає. Хоча, в принципі, концепт цікавий, чисто як, ну, типу, експеримент, але не дуже цікаво грається. Такий свій шутер рогалік AAA. Хоча я роблю рогаліки, але воно якось не дуже працює. Ну і от це. Але, звісно, для 3 людей дуже багато ефорту. Я сподіваюся, це, як його там звати, Пірс, він хоча б задоволений тим, що він зробив. І якісь гроші з цього підняв. І я ж так розумію, всі діалоги писав він сам. Ну, типу, кому ще. У нього має бути там один програміст, один, якщо їх троє, один там артист якийсь. А все інше, мабуть, він писав сам. Всіх персонажів приписував він сам, це, звісно, прикольно. Дуже прикольно. Треба почитати трохи більше про цю гру. Дякую. На добраніч там. Ох, мене аж трохи голосів. Воно і не стрімив, аж відвик.